In this video, you'll learn how to ask a question in Dutch. Asking questions in Dutch is actually very simple. You only need to learn about one thing, and that is something we call inversion. To ask a question in Dutch, all you need to do is switch around the subject and the verb of the sentence and change their places. This is what we call inversion. Let's take a look at an example. Let's take a very simple sentence like hij slaapt, he is sleeping. Now hij in the sentence is the subject and slaapt is the verb. So with inversion, we switch around the verb and the subject and change their places. So what we end up with is slaapt hij, and that's all we need to do to turn the sentence into a question. Slaapt hij means, is he sleeping? See, this is a lot easier than it is in English. All you need to do is apply the inversion. Unlike in English, you can apply the same technique to any sentence in the language. So every single sentence works the exact same way. All you need to do is switch around the subject and the verb. Let's practice this a little more. Let's take a very simple sentence again. De hond is moe. The dog is tired. How do we turn this into a simple question? Well, we switch around the subject, de hond, and the verb, is. So all we need to do is say, is de hond moe? Is de hond moe? Is the dog tired? Now you give it a try. I'll give you a sentence and you can turn it into a question. Zijn buurman is op vakantie. Zijn buurman is op vakantie. His neighbor is on vacation. Now, how do I say, is his neighbor on vacation? The answer is zijn buurman op vakantie? See, all we had to do to turn the sentence zijn buurman is op vakantie into the question is switch around zijn buurman and is. That's all we did. Everything else in the sentence stays in the exact same place. If you want to know more about where to put the other elements in the sentence, you should watch my video on basic word order first. So far, we've only seen simple yes and no questions. If you want to have an open question, you need to add a question word to the beginning of the sentence, like wie, wat, waar, wanneer, waarom, and hoe. It's the same as in English and many other languages. All you need to do in Dutch is put this word at the beginning of the sentence. After that, you apply the exact same strategy we saw before. You apply the inversion. You switch around the subject and the verb. For example, if you want to say, where does he sleep? You start with the question word, where. In Dutch, that's waar. After that, you apply the exact same strategy as before. You take the basic sentence, hij slaapt, and you switch around the subject and the verb. Slaapt hij. Now, put all together, you get waar slaapt hij? Waar slaapt hij? Where does he sleep? You can do this with all the other question words as well. For example, waarom slaapt hij? Or hoe laat slaapt hij? Or hoe lang slaapt hij? Or wanneer slaapt hij? It's always the same. Let's take a longer example to illustrate how easy this is. Let's take the sentence, je werkt morgen in Amsterdam. Je werkt morgen in Amsterdam. You will be working in Amsterdam tomorrow. To turn this into a question, you simply switch around the subject and the verb. Werk je morgen in Amsterdam? Werk je morgen in Amsterdam? Do you work in Amsterdam tomorrow? Wait, there is something a little bit strange about this sentence. Normally we say, je werkt. Why do we say, werk je? Well, this is the only exception that you have to take into consideration. When you conjugate a verb with je or jij, normally there is a T at the end of the verb. Je werkt, je slaapt, je gaat. But when we apply the inversion, this T disappears. Werk je, slaap je, ga je. Let's try one more example with je. How would you turn this sentence into a question? Je hebt een beetje honger. Je hebt een beetje honger. You're a little hungry. How would you turn this into a question? Well, you simply take je and hebt and switch them around. But because we're talking about je, we have to also leave off the t from the verb. So, heb je een beetje honger? Are you a little hungry? Heb je een beetje honger? Now, what if you have a sentence with multiple verbs? Well, actually, you don't need to worry because it's also very easy. Like I said, you just switch around the subject and the verb and the rest of the sentence stays the same. Now, if you have multiple verbs, you only need to be concerned with the first verb. The second or third or however many verbs you have, the other verbs stay in the exact same spot as with a regular sentence. Let's take the sentence, hij wil met ons meegaan. He wants to join us, or he wants to go along with us. Hij wil met ons meegaan. Here we have two verbs, wil, want, and meegaan, go along. Now, like I said, only concern yourself with the first verb, wil, and switch that with the subject, hij. So, to turn this into a question you get, wil hij met ons meegaan? Wil hij met ons meegaan? Does he want to go along with us? Now you try. Here's an example. How would you translate, can I borrow your book? Can I borrow your book? To borrow in Dutch is lenen. How would you say this? The answer is, mag ik je boek lenen? Mag ik je boek lenen? The regular sentence would be, ik mag je boek lenen. I'm allowed to borrow your book. Now to turn this into a question, all you need to do is switch around the first verb with the subject. So, mag ik je boek lenen? So to summarize, making a question in Dutch is very, very easy. All you need to do is switch around the subject and the first verb. Now there is only one exception. If you're talking about je or jij, the t at the end of the verb disappears when you apply the inversion. Everything else stays the same. Now if you have a question word, just put it at the beginning of the sentence and then proceed with the inversion. There's nothing more to it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.